and welcome back to my channel. For today's video is going to be something different because I haven't done this one before and I was talking about it. I was talking about doing this last year. I just didn't get the chance to be able to do it. So here I am making a video about what I'm about to make. Basically, you can see the title of the video. So this is going to be our home process journey when we were getting a home. And just a backstory, if you guys are new to my channel, we just bought our home. We closed on our home last year, February of 2021, and we basically got a brand new home, or a new build home, a new construction home. We signed on our lease, we signed on our contract back in 2020 during the pandemic. So we did purchase the home back when it was like the beginning of pandemic. So we signed our papers in June of 2020. It was the end of June. It was Father's Day, because I still remembered that we celebrated Father's Day with my dad first, and then after that we went and signed our contract. You're probably thinking, what made you buy a home during the pandemic, especially the beginning of the pandemic, and a lot of people were losing their jobs or getting furloughed and stuff like that. I'm still sick, guys, just so you guys know. And it all just came down to our living situation. Before moving here, we actually lived with my in-laws, my husband's mom and dad, and we were living in the house, and there's a lot of us, and I believe there's like about 8 of us in the house, and it was just too crowded, especially during the pandemic. A lot of things just happened that basically make us decide quicker to purchase a home. We were actually looking for a home before and was planning to get a home, just haven't really done the actual planning part until the pandemic, where everything just came to realize that we have to have our own place, and that's what we did. We initially thought of moving to an apartment. And the apartments at that time, they had some specials, but also a lot of them are actually where we lived. It's actually a lot of those apartments are very expensive. So we decided to just look around, kind of shop around for other options, and we started looking for homes. We looked pretty much about 30 minutes to an hour away from our radius where we were living, and yeah, so we found this one. This is actually, we were actually looking at a different model home down the street from where we live, and we saw that they have a new construction going on over here, and we just drove by and wanted to see the house, and it's a 1-story home, if you guys are not aware. So we just basically walked in and wanted to see the houses, how it looked like and stuff, the plans, and we fell in love with the plan. And initially I thought that we wanted to get a 2-story home, always wanted like that big home and loft and all of that. And then when we saw the 1-story home, it actually resonated, or it basically called out to both of us, and we decided to basically just try it. I was afraid to actually just try it because I'm not sure what to expect. I haven't really done much research about it at that time, and I felt like I wasn't ready right before that. But like I said, the pandemic happened, and we needed to have our own space, and that's when we started the process. Our experience from buying our home, the process that we had might be different from what you guys had or probably will have, but a lot of it is probably going to be aligned to what you guys are going to have, or aligned to what you guys have. There's just like some stuff that probably made it our own, because you know, it's never the same for everybody. It's always different. So we like the floor plans of the builder that we have, and at least 2 of those that we liked. And so what we did was inquired about it. with the salesperson that was at the front desk, and she gave us the information and told us that there's a wait list. And this was around April of 2020, and she said that whenever the other faces come out for the floor plans that we were thinking of getting, that it won't be done until the end of the year, or probably the following year. So probably January to March. It just depends on which floor plan and which lot. They do it by phases, and I think at that time they were on the second, going on third phase. And she said that maybe in a month or two that the other phase will basically come out for us to, if we wanted to, we can sign on to that contract. So what we did when we got home, we were thinking about it and talking about it, me and my husband, and basically we decided that we're gonna go pull the trigger. So we applied for the loan with their lender, because they were giving an incentive of, if we use their lender, they're gonna give us an incentive of, depending on the floor plan that we get, but we can get up to 4,500 of incentive for the down payment, or not the down payment, for closing cost. So that was actually a very good incentive. A lot of places that we've been to either didn't have any, or they'll say, because I work in the medical field, and they said that there are some that basically have incentives for people who work in the medical field, and one was like 11,000 that I could remember. The other one was like 2,500, and the other one didn't have any, and said like, oh, it's the same for everybody, whether you're in the medical field or whatnot. We're offering this amount. So the one that has the most to offer was basically this builder that we have, and that's where we went with. And we like the floor plan, so that's where we went with. And we did get approved, and after that we basically told our salesperson that our sales agent that we are interested in a lot. We did take my in-laws to the floor plans, or basically the model homes, just so that they can give us a feedback, because we do value their feedback on our on the house that we were gonna get, and they know more about those things, basically just living on your own. So that's we do value that, so that's the reason why we took them there. And basically we just decided on this home that we have. This is a 2,600 square foot home, and the other floor plan that we were thinking was I think it was a 28 or 2,900 square foot home. I don't remember anymore. And it was $15,000 more. And so we decided to just go with this one, since there's only just the three of us. At that time, it's just me, Liam, and my husband. So we decided to get this one. And right now we have a 4-bedroom home. The office, or basically this one is the office that we converted to a bedroom, and I'm using it as an office. So moving on, we're done with the credit check for after you've done your application. Basically they do your pre-approval if you're approved and stuff, and that's when after that we signed the contract. When the phase came out, it was the beginning of June. They said it was gonna come out end of May, but it ended up coming out end of June, or beginning of June, or second week of June, I don't remember. We said yes to a lot, and what we were not aware of, I've seen videos that they said that they do have lot premiums and stuff like that, and this is something that you guys just have to be aware of. And I believe it doesn't apply to everybody. There are other builders or other places that doesn't have any lot premiums, and ours unfortunately have lot premiums. And the lot premium that we have, this is just for your information, our lot premium was $20,000, and I thought that was a lot. And I know to a lot of people, you're probably thinking that, yeah, that's a lot. But I've what I did was actually I joined this Facebook group for the builder that we have, and there's a community, basically a Facebook group for like a community group on Facebook for the builder, whoever's building like a home buying experience page. So I don't know what to call it. So I joined one of those, and we did have like a thread basically stating where you live and how much was your lot premium and how big was your lot and stuff like that. And how this is ours was high, but I've seen others that were higher, so it just depends on where you live. And I've seen other ones that doesn't have any at all, which was really nice. And so after that after that we said yes, even with the lot premium, because we didn't want to lose the home. We do love the floor plan, and we see ourselves living here. So we went with this. We said yes. So we went and signed the contract. It was Father's Day, I believe. It was Father's Day at that time when we signed the contract. And after that, we also gave a check for the earnest money. So earnest money is basically just a promise to buy the home. It's just basically you're saying that, yes, I'm going to buy the home and I'm serious about it. And it's not, the earnest money is not something you can just get back anytime you want to, because that's basically saying, what they're trying to say is that they want to know if you're serious in buying this and you're not going to have like a buyer's remorse the next day. So you cannot just basically take the money back and just, hey, I was just kidding, I wasn't going to buy the house. You know what I mean? So we gave the earnest money, and for transparency, our earnest money that we had to give was $8,250. And that is pretty hefty for an earnest money, because a lot of times the ones that we've searched around, or we looked at, other builders that we've looked at, the earnest money that they were asking for was between $1,000 to $5,000, and ours was $8,250. That was the highest one, but we really liked the place, so we gave the earnest money. After that, about a month or a couple weeks later, the loan officer emailed us and basically just asked for bank statements, for more bank statements. We gave some from like the initial application, and then they asked for more after we signed the contract. And then after that, they gave us our conditional loan approval, and basically just saying like, for now you're approved. It's not for sure that you are approved. It's not, you haven't really signed or closed, so it's always going to be tentative, or it's not going to be for sure. And they gave us like a budget list on what we're basically spending on and stuff like that. When we signed the contract, we had promised to basically put a down payment of $30,000 and basically the earnest money goes towards the down payment. So when we close, instead of having to pay $30,000, you're only gonna pay $21,75. I think I might be wrong, but around there, around $21,000. So after the conditional approval, about a month later, we got contacted by the builder or their other subcontractors or whatever about the structural appointment. So basically, if we want anything changed for the home, that's where we basically talk about it. Structural, whatever you want, anything structural, try to do it on when you have the chance to, because it's harder to get it done afterwards when everything is already built. And so what we did is basically just convert the office to a bedroom, and we upgraded our kitchen to I think it's a gourmet kitchen. Yeah, that's what you call it, the gourmet kitchen. Instead of having like a smaller island, we opted for the bigger island. After the structural appointment, we we had the solar panel people contacted us, basically they want to know whether we're gonna go purchase or lease the solar panels, because where we live, it's mandatory to have a solar panel, and it's either you're gonna lease or you're gonna buy. And we decided to buy instead of leasing. After the solar panel decision making that we had to do, we had the home gallery, this was like a month after the structural, and also 2 weeks, I think 2 weeks after the solar panel people talked to us. And basically the home gallery appointment is where you choose your upgrades for your home, whether you want to have a different door, or you want to have what type of island or countertops you want to have, if you want to have granite, or what type of granite, what type of quartz or whatsoever. And also, like, if you want to change the hardwares or the knobs and stuff like that in your home, that's basically where you all discuss the options and what you like. And just for a tip, that you have to keep a budget in mind, what you want to spend on and what is a must and what is not, just so that it's because when you're in the home gallery, it's so easy to go over budget. And if you have a list of what you must have, and also a list of what you can, it's okay not to have, then it will be easier for you, because it's so easy to get out of budget when you're over there and excited to build your home. Next one is groundbreaking. And for us, this one took a long time, because we signed back in June and we didn't have the groundbreaking until I think end of August or beginning of September. And it took a long time, and I found out, because I don't know anything about houses back then and how new builds work, is that you have to get the permit first, basically to get it approved before they can do the groundbreaking. And it took a while for them to get the permits. So when they did, we had a groundbreaking meeting, and it was nice because it was also meet your neighbors at the same time. So on our face of the home building, there were four houses that were being built on our face, and I met my neighbors at that time, which was really nice. And yeah, after that, it went by pretty quickly. That's actually, as soon as like they started breaking ground and doing what they need to do, everything was working fast. Everything was just, it seemed like it was fast. At that time, it didn't seem like it was, but it was. At the end of the month of September, we had our walkthrough, basically the structural walkthrough, just to see how everything is, where everything is, like the vent, the AC, the structural, how the structure of the home was. That was the time when we saw the crack on our foundation, but it was fixed afterwards. After the walkthrough for the structural, that's when they actually put like the drywall, and everything just goes by fast, like faster after that. Since we had our credit checked in the beginning, I believe we had our credit checked quite a bit when we were starting in this process. We had it when we applied for the loan, and then when we had the loan approval, we also, right before we signed for the contract, they also pulled our credit again. And then 90 days later, this was after groundbreaking and stuff already, they pulled our credit again. I think it was after or around the groundbreaking. They pulled our credit again just to make sure that there's not any. After 90 days, they pulled our credit again just to make sure that there's no transaction or any activity going on there that can disqualify us, or basically tell us that we're no longer approved for the home. So you cannot add any new loans or new debts. You can't be buying stuff and putting it on credit. So they did that, and then after that, around December, they also rechecked our credit again. That would be the last time that they pulled that was the last time that they pulled our credit. because we were supposed to close the following month. So after the last credit check, that's when we also locked our interest rate. We were trying to see if we can get it lowered, but we didn't want to risk that the interest rates were going to go up again. So we locked at 3%. And that was also when we were introduced to the loan processor. And basically the loan officer hands the loan processor our paperwork to basically be given to the underwriters. And that's basically when your process before closing is actually happening. After that, it was appraisal. I know we were supposed to get our appraisal done. I was just not sure exactly when it was supposed to be done. When it hasn't been done when we had our walkthrough, our final walkthrough, and there was still a lot of stuff in the house that were actually not done on our final walkthrough. So we were going to have another revisit in, I think, 5 days or something like that. But there was still a lot that were not done. And I think, no, the appraisal was done a couple days before that. But according to my sales agent of the builder, that the appraisal was actually late. They should have done it like the beginning of the month or even the month before. They should have done the appraisal because now it's late and it could delay us with our closing. So that did happen. It did delay us with our closing. We were supposed to close on our home on January 26th, but that didn't happen because our appraisal was not back yet, so they couldn't finalize our loan. They asked for more paperwork, and a lot of those paperwork were actually repetitive from what we already had given them, and it's also submitted through a portal where they can actually pull it, but they still ask you for it, so you still have to give it. And we gave a lot of paperwork before closing, and it really stressed us out. I told you guys earlier that we were supposed to close on January 26th, but we didn't end up closing until February 9. It took about 2 weeks before we could close, and it was really stressing me out at that time. I was, oh my God, the feeling, I don't know if I want to go through that again. The appraisal, I think it wasn't done until the 22nd of January, and it didn't come back until the beginning of February because they were delayed, and because there's a lot of people building and they don't have enough people to do the appraisals. So it was delayed, and then it took forever to actually get our approval because the person who's working on our file was actually on vacation. It was just a stressful time. But Monday, I believe it was Monday, when we got the news, we actually thought that we're not going to get the home for whatever reason, but we ended up getting fully approved. Basically, we signed our paperwork, we signed our closing documents, or the CDs. You're gonna hear about that when you watch other videos. And we signed those, and we thought we were gonna close on a different day, but we ended up getting the news that we are finally approved, for sure, that we are approved for the loan. On February 8th at nighttime, I finally got the email basically saying that we're good to go. We are finally like fully approved for the loan, and we can close tomorrow. Basically, Escrow is gonna, or title is gonna go email us the next day, and as soon as they can, and we can close on the home the next day. So it was very, very exciting, a very happy feeling. I honestly don't know how to express a lot of my feelings, happiness or sadness or anger. I'm not very good at that, guys, just so you guys know. So at that time, it's like I feel like inside I was like squealing, but I wasn't, like, I was happy showing my husband and everybody, but I didn't really scream. I should have screamed because I was really happy. But we were fully approved that night, and the next day title called us. I was about to go to work. Actually, I was about to go to work the next day. Both of us, we were getting ready, and it was around 8 o'clock when we got the call and saying that if we can close today, how soon can we get to the escrow place. And she said, like, can you make it at 10? I said, like she asked if you can make it at 10, and I said we will be there at 10. It was like 8, almost 8:30. We had to take our son to school. We were rushing. And so we basically, and it was like about 30-45 minutes away from us. So we just basically ran and went there and basically did all the paperwork and signed. And after signing the paperwork, you have to do the transfer of your down payment. And so we went to the bank and got the stuff transferred. Make sure that you ask your people if how to do the transfer for your down payment, because there's a lot of scammers out there. Don't do it via online or anything like that. Just don't get scammed. That's very scary. And so we went to the bank and had it transferred. And after, they said that we couldn't get the keys just yet because it hasn't been recorded, but as soon as it's recorded we can get it. So we did get the keys the same day, but we didn't get it until late in the afternoon, I think at 5 o'clock. We were waiting outside the model home where the agents were, and we waited for maybe about half an hour till we basically got the news that it's recorded so we can get the keys. So that is the story of our home buying process. I know it is quite long. It is different for everybody. There's a lot of things that you're gonna go experience. That I've watched so many videos about home buying process, and I still, you know, found myself in a situation where I didn't see or hear that online or on the internet. So yeah, I hope this one helps you, kind of give you an insight or idea how the home buying process is and how it was for us. And I hope you guys like this video. I'm also going to be doing a video on how we saved up on our home, and if you're interested on that, please let me know down below. And like this video if you like this type of videos. And if you haven't followed me on my socials yet, all of them are going to be linked down below, and I will be linking some of the videos of our home building process up here as well, like the episode per episode that I have on my channel, if you haven't seen that yet. And subscribe if you haven't yet. I'm not sure if I said that already, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.